Good morning, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to call to order our Tuesday, October 11th Board of Commissioners meeting. If we would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we will accept public comment for any item that is not on the agenda. Is there any public comment at this time? Okay. Seeing none, we will accept public comment as each item is under consideration. We'll check to see if we have any additions to our agenda today. Anything to add? Okay. Seeing none, we will look for a motion to approve our last set of minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes from October 4th.
Second.
All right. It has been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion has carried. Okay, we'll turn it to Commissioner Higgins for our presentation of the scholarships awards this year.
Thank you, Mike. The Center County Commissioners have a scholarship program we've had for, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, like the last 5 years or so, for emergency responders in Center County, especially new volunteers. That would be for any course of study at CPI, South Hills, or, and maybe Cinnamon can help me with this one, the Central Pennsylvania Phlebotomy Institute? Okay, as long as I'm close. And it's up to $2,500 and any course of study. And if you're in a 2-year program, we could potentially even cover it for 2 years. So would like to call one of our scholarship recipients up, Cinnamon. Maybe you take the second seat, and then Mark, you've been here before. Maybe take the last one.
Good morning to both of you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So we have Cinnamon Zimmerman, who is at volunteering at Center Lifelink, although maybe you're paid, but based on the pay rate, I'd still call it sort of a volunteer level. And Mark Keller, the director of the Center County Public Safety Training Center. You've been doing a wonderful job. I know you're kind of being loved to death at the moment. But we'll have Cinnamon speak first. Anything you'd like to say about being an emergency responder or phlebotomy or the scholarship?
Not really.
All right.
I'm just trying to make it through the classes.
Well, I'm sure it's difficult, and as anyone who's had blood drawn, which is what phlebotomists do, you don't always remember the good ones, but boy, you remember the bad ones.
I'm actually doing the EMT classes
EMT
right now.
classes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then I'm
Excellent.
going to try to do the phlebotomy class, so.
Wonderful.
How many hours is the EMT program?
It's
Yeah.
200 hours.
A lot.
That's a lot of time.
Sincere commitment.
Yeah. We do it over the course of, we started it in September and it'll end in the beginning of December. So it's a big commitment to get those 200 hours of education in at one chance in that short period of time.
How many people are in that program? Just curious.
Right now, this year, there's 19 in that program,
No, there's 17 of us.
17.
17.
And the past years, it's been full. We've had as many as 24, which is the most we can take at the time in any one class. We have plans to start another one in January as well. So.
That's wonderful, and of course, happy to provide scholarships to students who are taking those classes as well. All right, so is there anything else?
On behalf of the first responders in Center County, I'd like to thank the Board of Commissioners for this opportunity. It helps out. It definitely helps out the people of Center County when we can educate and make people EMTs and get them certified as EMTs to go out there and help their community. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we know there's a shortage.
Yes.
It's a big help. Well, I'm actually glad that the center can do what it does to provide an opportunity to get those people trained and out there. So that's wonderful.
Thank you very much for your support of the training site as well.
Thanks for your leadership there, Mark. It was always receiving a lot of usage, and now I hear sometimes it's fully booked upwards of 2 months in advance, which is wonderful. So, yeah, if Cinnamon and Mark, if you'd like to come up, we'll present. Certificate of recognition and usually, it's perfect, like you've done this before.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, thanks for coming.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Miss
Thank
Cinnamon,
you.
congratulations.
Thank
We'll
you.
be sure to get a photo for that if you'd like to have
Okay.
it for your records, okay?
Yeah, that'll be
Again,
fine.
Congratulations, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it, Mark. Good to see you.
Well done.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Steve.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Again, thank you to Mark Keller and.
Scholarship
Yeah,
monies are
and-
still available, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And applications are best applied for online, correct?
Online at the Center Foundation.
Okay. Commissioner Higgins, thank you. Appreciate that. We will go into our next items, proclamations. We have two today. We're going to start first with Proclamation 35, and this is proclaiming September 15th till October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month here in Center County. And we are so thankful to have Sharon Rovancik with us today, and Sharon had reached out to us to adopt this proclamation and consider it. So we welcome you here, Sharon. Thank you. And we'll
No,
turn it over,
thank you.
turn it over to you to let us know some of the things that have been celebrated and what we can do here in Center County. So please.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm from Half Moon Township. October 15th, the dates are important because the month encompasses a lot of days of independence that the countries that are encompassed by the month celebrate. It's important to note that the month celebrates all histories, cultures, contributions from those from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. It was expanded by Ronald Reagan in 1988 from just a week to an entire month. So this is something that's been going on in this country for a very long time. And I'm very happy that it's being recognized at the local levels, not just national levels, not just state levels, but coming into townships and boroughs and to Center County. And the demographic in our country, Hispanics are the fastest growing demographic in this country. And it's important to know that Hispanics and Latinos, it's important to make people feel welcome and seen. It has nothing to do with being divisive or elitist. It's just, the intent is just to be inclusive, to be welcoming, to educate and to celebrate a heritage that has, been thousands of years in the making. Center County has been wonderful. We've had activities at Penn State. I'm also really proud to say I'm the representative at Half Moon Township to SCLO Library, and SCLO Library has put on wonderful events with music and food and with Penn State and the clubs there. Bringing the children and the books. And I'm just really proud of what SCLO has done. And I heard from Commissioner Pipe that he brought his children to SCLO. And we have a meeting of the Board of Trustees at SCLO tomorrow night. And I am going to make sure I had to think about that date. I am going to make sure to tell everybody there that people came and celebrated, and we're always so happy to get feedback. And we want to hear feedback, the good and the negative, but I was happy that it was positive. That's always great. And also, I have a little bit of personal history. I'm half Japanese, but I'm also half Hispanic. And my great-grandfather came to this country from Mexico. And I haul this thing around in a baggie, and I've shown this to my children every time it comes around to vote. Well, since before, but especially since they turned 18 and have been eligible to vote. And it's my great-grandfather's first, that he had clipped out of the newspaper, his first ballot. It's like an advertisement of candidates running, and the date he wrote on top is 1902. And then it says here to Fred, that's my great uncle. His name was Frederico, but Fred. It says first vote cast by your father in 1902. He came from Monterrey, Nuevo Leon, Mexico, to cast his first vote in Eagle Pass, Texas, 59 years ago, mother. And this is, been in our family. And this is so important for my kids to vote. And this is how proud he was. And he was a rancher in a border town in Douglas, Arizona. And so we're proud to be Hispanic, and we're proud to be here. And I'm so happy that this proclamation is here in Center County. And that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Sharon, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And we should say, if we could, next, and many
Oh, yeah,
I should
yeah.
say, many of the proclamations we do are resident-driven. We'll get a request and do this, and so this was a special one that you let us know about, and
Yeah, we were a little late this year, but we'll get it next
You
year
got
on
it.
time.
We've got still a few days left. We're good. But next
Yeah.
year we'll do it early September, and we'd
Yeah.
love to showcase some of the events so that we can get the word out about them and grow them in the years to come. So, and thank you for sharing that. We actually have our elections director, Beth Leckman, here, who
She was smiling.
she would love to, I think, take a look at that before you go, if
Oh,
that's okay.
sure.
And but thank you for sharing that passionate and inspirational message. Thank you so much. Yeah, but please,
This is
yeah.
also not the first time we've recognized Sharon's family.
Is that right?
She has.
Oh, please, yeah.
Sharon, how many Eagle Scouts are in your family?
Wow, fantastic. Fantastic, there you
And it
go.
was just a wonderful experience for them. And so I
great.
know I've seen you guys there, and I've seen you all at their Eagle Scout. They all have their
Right.
stuff still
Thank
from
you
their
for saying.
ceremonies.
Oh, good.
Absolutely, thank you so much, Sharon.
No,
Yeah,
thank
please.
you.
Thank you very much.
We again are honored to have you here today. We'll look for a motion to adopt this proclamation at this time.
Motion to adopt proclamation number 35 of 2022.
We'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? And Sharon, if you wouldn't mind, we'd love to present this to you. If you'd like to come up. No, that's okay. So all in favor of the proclamation, say aye. Aye. Motion is carried, okay. And we can, you can take this copy with you and.
Oh, great,
Yeah,
that would be
please,
wonderful.
absolutely. And if you need additional ones for any other organizations, let us know. There you are, okay? Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you
Thanks
so
again,
much.
Sharon.
No,
so
thank you,
much.
thank you, thank
So
you,
nice to see you.
thank you.
Take care. Take care.
I'll get you that contact
Thank you.
information. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay. On to our next proclamation, 36 of 2022. We're going to welcome up our fantastic IT team here in Center County, Chief Information and Records Officer, Tad, and Tanya as well. We're going to turn it over to them to again recognize the importance of Cybersecurity Awareness Month in Center County. So please.
Thank you very much. National Cybersecurity Awareness Month occurs every year in October. This year's campaign is called See Yourself in Cyber. And so this is an initiative between the Department of Homeland Security and is a collaborative effort between government industries to help raise awareness about the importance of cybersecurity. The campaign this year will help demonstrate that cybersecurity, while it may seem like a complex subject, it's really all about the people and as individuals, the steps that we can take to help secure our own data and our organization's data as well. So while we're focusing on the people part of cybersecurity, we'll be providing information and resources to help educate and emphasize personal accountability and to stress the importance of proactive steps to enhance cybersecurity. This year there are, the overarching themes talks about 4 things that everyone can do at work and at home to help protect their data networks. One is enable multi-factor authentication. So this provides another layer of protection beyond just a password. Use strong passwords. Make sure they are unique and that you do not reuse passwords across multiple accounts. Those instances is where a lot of compromises can occur when you reuse usernames and passwords. Recognize and report phishing emails. Be able to tell some indicators of a phishing email so that you're not clicking on a link or downloading something that could potentially be malicious into your home network or into your organization. And make sure that your software is updated. When those updates come on, make sure you do those right away, those patch any vulnerabilities, and will help mitigate some risk. So for the month of October, what we're going to be doing is we'll be sending out weekly awareness campaign newsletters and tips that staff can use at work and their personal life. These tips also are on our county website, so citizens can go and view those as well. And we're also going to be kicking off an annual cybersecurity awareness training for all the staff as well. And then Tanya will kind of talk about what some items we do day to day.
Thank you, Chad.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Tanya.
So we've implemented multi-factor authentication already, and we are also doing quarterly phishing exercises. And then we also have many layers of protection to our data and our network in place, including preventative measures and recovery plans.
It's a full-faceted, multi-level approach that we've really taken here in Center County, and the great effort that you both take and the whole team takes to make sure that we're safe. And it's we sort of don't know the successes you have, again, but there are many. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks. My son has a degree in cybersecurity from Penn State. He does it full-time, so maybe have a little bit more awareness of it than the average citizen. The attacks are constant. I probably at least once a week get some sort of phishing or other attack. Thankfully, usually it lands in my junk box. But I just got one yesterday. Commissioner Pipe, did you know you were buying 350 gigabytes of storage in the cloud?
Yeah, I got that
But you
too.
weren't. But you weren't.
Well done.
It
Yes.
wasn't. It was not me.
Yes.
I clicked on it several times
Oh,
to
good.
make
Oh,
sure
good.
that
The money went through.
money went
hopefully.
through.
Yeah,
I
all
want to
right.
make sure that was paid.
Yeah, so definitely, you get those, you get those emails in, either as county employees or citizens, and you're like, this just doesn't smell right. Yeah, don't click on it.
Yeah, just follow your gut.
Yeah, yeah. So thanks. Those were my comments, Mike.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. So we will adopt this. It's been several years now. Let's keep the momentum going, and we'll look for a motion.
Motion to adopt Proclamation number 36 of 2022, proclaiming October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month in Center County.
And I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion
As
on
long as I
this?
don't have to click on it.
That's no, absolutely, no. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion is carried. Okay, please, Chad and Tanya, we'd like to have you come up, and we'll present the proclamation.
Well done. Good job.
Thanks, you too.
Keep us safe.
Thank you.
We're very happy that nothing bad has happened so
Yes,
far.
so far.
Thanks, Aaron, very much. Thank you again, both.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So when I use my county credit card to pay for Mike's
No,
cyber
no, I
storage-
wanted it in Bitcoin.
Okay, you wanted it in
I think you
Bitcoin.
did want
Okay,
it in
all right. That's how
That was
it
another
works.
alert.
Well, you know.
All right, we appreciate everybody working through those proclamations. We're going to head into our one ordinance today. This is ordinance number 4 of 2022. This is something that has come before us already as a item for a public hearing, also for a first meeting that we had this several weeks ago. So it's now an appropriate amount of time has passed. The advertisement has also occurred in the newspaper, so we have it out there, and this will be our final opportunity for public comment and discussion amongst us, and then a potential motion. So anything that we'd like to offer beforehand, I'm happy to make some comments to lead us off. Okay. So as we said at our prior meeting where this came to the table, this is a ordinance that would establish the salary levels for the next set of row officers. So it's all the row officers, except for jury commissioners who are on a different term, but this would start 2024 going into 2027. The percentage increase is 3% over those years, or the rate of inflation, whichever is less. And we also have, for one of the first times ever, a one-time increase for the first year going into 2024 for the row offices, not the county commissioners, but all of our row offices, including the jury commissioners. And that will get them up and close the gap between what the county commissioners are set at and what they are set at. And so this, again, is not a guarantee for any of the people that are currently serving. Our job, I'll say our job performance evaluation is done by the residents of Center County, and if we choose to run, if that occurs, or any of our other row officers or other individuals, the citizens and residents of Center Counties will have the final say on whether or not individuals will be receiving this. So we will, I'll stop my comments there. If there are any other comments, we can open up for a final public comment on this item.
I just want to mention that the one-time $2,000 bump for row officers is for 24, 25, 20, and 26, and I think 27, yes, that's the 4 years. So it doesn't keep adding, you know, get another $2,000 every year, but it's a base.
Yeah, we're required by statute to set those rates ahead of time, ahead of the election process, and that's what we are in the process of doing.
Absolutely. So we have no comments here. Is there any public comment at this time? Going once, twice? Okay, thank you. We will look then for a motion to adopt Ordinance 4 of 2022.
Motion to adopt ordinance 4 of 2022.
That was it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion or questions? Okay, hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Same sign. The motion is carried. Okay. All right, John, we will turn this next item over to you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. Before you, for consideration, is approval of an application for grant funding from Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund. The U.S. Treasury established this fund through the American Rescue Plan, and funds are being appropriated to counties for a variety of governmental purposes other than lobbying. The funding is available for fiscal years 2022 and 2023, and the funding amount for 22 is $50,000, and then there is the potential for an additional up to $50,000 for year 2, which is 2023. The request must be submitted by January 31st of 2023. So we are requesting approval to apply for the funding.
Thank you, John. And looking through the list of other Pennsylvania counties, it looks like each county was guaranteed $50,000, but the counties that got the lion's share would have been Forest, McKean, some of our smaller counties that might have been impacted a little bit more per the guidance of this. So still appreciate the $50,000 in each of those fiscal years. And one of the things that we could do before we receive the money next year would be to find out how we can spend it. With ARPA, there's specific guidelines, but with this one, I don't know if we've seen those quite yet. So we have plenty of runway to do that, but be interested in what the guidelines are. So. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
One thing for consideration is final pending review by the solicitor.
Absolutely. Very prudent. So, okay. Any final comments on that before we look for a motion?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Motion to approve the application for the Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund pending solicitor review.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. And again, noting it, I mentioned it, but this is coming through ARPA. I was authorized through that. So, okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Seeing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, thanks, John, very much. All right, Lee, we'll turn it over to you. Good morning.
Good morning. Today we are bringing forward 5 contracts for facilities management to add to the consent agenda. I'll just run through all 5 if you don't mind. First is the removal of approximately 10 to 12 feet of the incinerator stack at the Centercrest facility. It's noted some deterioration. So Howe Masonry will complete that at a fee of $12,850. That work will be completed later this fall. Next will be Berkshire Systems Group. That is to provide the annual fire alarm and sprinkler inspection and testing at the courthouse. That contract, $2,960 for the period January 1 through December 31st of 2023. So that'll take care of next year. The third one is with Swartz Fire and Safety. That'll provide the annual fire protection inspections for the extinguishers and the suppression systems at the correctional facility and the Centercrest facility as well. That contract is for 2 years, cost of $5,480, and then the Centercrest $3,000 expected amount for Centercrest over the 2 years is $1,750. Total is $10,230 for the period of January 1, 2023 through December 31st of 2024. Next is PAC Industries. PAC Industries provides repair and maintenance to the industrial laundry equipment at the correctional facility. That total is $7,200 for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st of 2025. And the last one is not new. It's a new name, Brightly Software, formerly Facility Dude for our work order systems. And that is to provide those services for the maintenance of the work order system. Contract total $9,056.52 for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st of 2025.
Thanks for running through those, Lee. Appreciate that very much. Any questions or comments?
Just want to make a quick shout out. Lee, very glad to see that Schwartz Fire and Safety won the bid for the fire protection. I use them myself personally, and Larry and Dottie are very public-spirited individuals. They're huge supporters of the Grange Fair, especially for the livestock auctions for the young person scholarships. So great to see that Larry and Dottie did win the bid.
Good local company.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Seeing no other comments, we'll look for a motion for the facility management items.
Motion to add the facilities items 1 through 5 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thanks again, Lee. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you, Lee.
For our Planning and Community Development Office, we'll welcome up Liz. Good morning, Liz.
Morning, Liz.
Good morning. The first item for your attention this morning is the consider approval of issuing the notice to proceed for the bridge bundle construction inspection services Part 1 with Glen O'Haw Baker Incorporated. This goes back to the 3 rehabilitation bridge projects. The contract total is for $2,148,818 with a contract completion date of May 31st, 2024.
Thank you, Liz. Any questions on the notice to proceed before we look for a motion? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the notice to proceed with Glen O'Haw Baker, Inc.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, and we'll also welcome up Cheryl at this time, Cheryl White from CVIM, to discuss the RACP allocation and how we'll be assisting with that. So please, good morning to both of you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Doesn't cost any more to sit than it does to
That's right.
stand.
That's right.
Yeah, we welcome Cheryl with us today with the Center of Volunteers in Medicine, RACP grant. We have a few items that are bundled in with your approval this morning, so I want to quickly cover those and then give Cheryl an opportunity to discuss more in depth and answer questions. So the first order of business is going to be the cooperation agreement between Center County Government and Center Volunteers in Medicine. This is standard to what we do, as Center County is the grantee for the grant, and they ultimately are the beneficiary. The second item will be the RDA Forms 300 and 301. Again, these are standard contractual paperwork that outlines the scope of the project, what the matching funds are, that both parties sign off on. The last item then is the statement of compliance going through the state with the RACP. We have to ensure that we're going to adhere to compliance standards and a number of those other items. So with that being said, those are the 3 items that we'll have you approve. The only other pending item which came in yesterday is our Center County solicitor has to give insurance of her opinion of counsel that there are no pending litigations or barriers that would prevent Center County government from working with Center Volunteers in Medicine. So with that being said, I guess we'll open the floor to any questions or comments.
Yeah, and certainly, thank you for running through that, Liz. There's a lot that goes into the RACP allocations that certainly Cheryl is intimately aware of and acutely aware of. But from a county government standpoint, we can act as a pass-through that allows you to receive the funds and help with any administration. But we'd love to allow you to showcase a little bit where the project is and give you the opportunity to give an update.
Sure, absolutely. So the building that we have purchased is on Sandy Drive. Some people may have seen that during the last round of vaccines, but the building is now under construction. It will allow us to expand from our current 6,700 square foot space to almost double that once the addition and renovation are completed. And I really appreciate this opportunity from the state and the county for helping us get this money.
Absolutely, fantastic, thank you. Any comments or questions?
Cheryl, I believe with the additional space, you're either adding more services or services that were kind of hit and miss in the past are now going to be scheduled. I believe that also includes dentist services, too.
So our dental program will grow from the 4 operatories we have to 6, and we now have a full-time dentist who is Department of Health grant funded. So that waiting list of over 400 people is being chipped away at even today as we speak. So, and also our new behavioral health program, we integrate behavioral health into primary care. And we didn't really have room for that program, so they kind of sit anywhere they can, and they'll actually have their own corner of the building, along with a room for group counseling. So that's pretty exciting for us.
Yes.
Approximately how many volunteers do you have that make this happen?
In the regular clinic, almost 200 on an annual basis who do everything from see the patients to take out the recycling. We always have volunteer opportunities available, and you can find those on the website. So that's the beauty of the volunteer clinic, is that we're able to take those dollars that people donate and multiply it by 3 as far as the health care that we provide, because we're not, for the most part, we're not paying the professional staff. So
That's great.
Really appreciate
Fantastic.
all the things that you do for all the folks in our community.
thank you. We do pay our dentist, because dentists are hard to come by in the country. So, along with mental health providers, as you know. So,
As we know.
yes, yes. So,
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Liz. We'll look for a motion, and then if there's any questions, we'll do that. Is there a motion?
Sure. Motion to approve the Center Volunteers in Medicine Redevelopment Assistant Capital Project in the amount of $3 million.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions, Gary?
Cheryl, the general fundraising campaign is continuing?
absolutely. The capital campaign is separate from the general fundraising campaign. So, tonight's our Battle of the Minds event at the Penn Stater. We still need money to operate beyond what we need for the building. So, as a true free clinic, we have no regular source of income. We don't charge for the services we apply. So we are truly we are truly blessed by the community that supports us. So.
The addition of programs then on everything is a reflection of the growing need. You're seeing more and more people, is that?
Yes, absolutely. So I don't think there'll ever be a time, at least not in our lifetime, that there's not a need for free care for the working poor who can't afford insurance. So, and they don't qualify for medical assistance.
Timetable on when you hope the work is going to be done at the new building?
Hopefully late spring. Fingers crossed. No supply chain issues. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Gary. All right, we'll call for the question now. All those in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you both again.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Your work has just begun. That's right.
Okay, we're going to welcome up Beth at this time to talk about some additional equipment we're going to be getting for future elections. Hi, Beth. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm here this morning to ask for your consideration for approval of the purchase of some signs and voting booths for use at the polling locations in Center County from Election IQ. I do have one change on here. The Franklin booths at a total cost of $23,100, and the A-frame Vote Here signs at a cost of $12,495. I am asking that we table or scratch the tabletop privacy screens. They will not have them in time for election, and their cost is slightly higher. So we're going to table those. I'm not asking that we purchase those. So the total amount will be $35,595
Okay, sounds
for
good.
the
Beth.
2 other items.
Okay. All right. And we have on the agenda that it's the HAVA grant, and that's the one that we received in 2020, that we have about 80-some thousand to spend down before the end of the
Correct.
year. Okay, sounds good. All right. Any questions on those 2 equipment purchases for the booths and also the A-frames?
Yep, good stuff.
All right, we'll look for a motion then.
Motion to approve the purchase of the Franklin booths and the A-frame Vote Here signs from Election IQ LLC.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion or questions? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, for Human Services, we'll welcome up Kathy Arbogast to go through these. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. We have several contracts today for several of our program areas. And so we'll start with the first one, which is a contract renewal with Hello Sign, which provides staff with electronic signature options for the individuals that they provide services to. This is an agency-wide contract, and it totals $3,300. The county match portion of that is $152. And the time period for this contract starts September 23rd, 2022 through next September of 2023. We would respectfully ask that the commissioners approve that contract today so that we can get the credit card information updated and we can continue that contract immediately. The next two are with our Intellectual Disabilities Department. The first is a letter of agreement with North Star Support Services. This will provide supports coordination choice for the individuals that we serve. Contract total is $7,500. The county match portion is $346 and is for July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. The next one is a letter of agreement with St. Francis University for our Intellectual Disabilities Department to do the National Core Indicator Surveys through the IM4Q process. This contract total is $36,075 and is also for the time period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Excuse me. The next 9 contracts are all contract renewals for the Drug and Alcohol Department and are all for the time period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. The first is with PA Care LLC. We know it as State College Medical in State College for case management, outpatient, and MAT services. The contract total is $10,031, and the county match portion is $462. The second is with Here Inc., which provides, I'll use the terms that we understand. Low-intensity residential services is what we know as halfway house, case management, and MAT, and we estimate that to be $5,000, all state funding. The next will be Gadenzia Inc., the terminology we use now is high-intensity residential. We know it as rehab services, case management, and also detox or withdrawal management. Again, estimated at $5,000, all state funding. The next is contract renewal with Eagleville Hospital for withdrawal management, medically managed residential, what we know as detox and rehab, case management and MAT. Estimated at $5,000 state funding. The next contract renewal is with Fire Tree Limited for high and low intensity residential, what we know as rehabilitation, case management and MAT, estimated at $5,000 in state funding. The next is Discovery House to provide case management, outpatient, and MAT, estimated at $5,000, the county match portion being $230. The next is a contract renewal with Treatment Tens for low and high intensity residential services, also known as rehabilitation, case management, and MAT, again estimated at $5,000, all state funding. The next is a contract renewal with Bradford Recovery Center, treatment, case management, residential, estimated at $5,000, a mix of federal and state funding. And the last one is with Bowling Green Brandywine, residential treatment, case management, and MAT, estimated at $5,000, a mix of federal and state funding.
Kathy, thank you so much. We'll look first for a motion or any questions on the hello sign. Any questions on that before we look for a motion to approve? All right, we'll look for a motion then.
Motion to approve the contract with Hello Sign.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Okay, and then any questions or comments on the other 11 items? Okay, seeing none and hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the mental health, intellectual disability, early intervention, drug and alcohol items 2 through 12 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second it.
Okay, been moved and seconded. A lot of different services there and a lot of different entities. Thank you for presenting them today, Kathy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion has carried. Okay, thanks once again. All right, and Quentin will welcome you up for a contract for one of our senior centers. Good morning.
Hi. I'm up here to ask for consideration for the renewal of Carol Folich's contract for the cleaning services of the Bellefonte Senior Center. Contract total is $8,277.60, and the contract period will be January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024.
Okay, thank you, Quinn. Any questions on this contract?
The only thing I would say is the duration of the contract. It goes through December 24th.
So we have a 30-day notice for termination between us or the provider, and I also did talk to Carol about the possibility of sometime in '24 ceasing the contract, and she understands that.
Well, just to say that the senior center is slated to be part of the new Centercrest project, so just wanted to make sure that we had that covered.
Commissioner, a great point, and appreciate you addressing that, Quentin, and having that 30-day out, and having the openness with Carol to let her know what that future may look like. So appreciate that forward thinking. Thank you. Okay. All right. We'll look for a motion then.
Motion to add the contract with Carol Folich to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you again, Quentin. We have our consent agenda today. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve today's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the consent agenda? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion has carried. All right, and we'll welcome up Carrie Hall to discuss letters of support for the local law enforcement support program grant. Good morning.
Good morning. Last week, we received a request from some of the police departments to provide letters of support for their applications to the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for the local law enforcement support grant program. So before you today are letters from Spring Township Police Department, State College Borough Police Department, and Ferguson Township Police Department. Bellefonte was not making an application for this grant opportunity. Appears that most of them are applying for equipment, hardware types of things, and some technological improvements to different, like records management, software, things of that nature, body-worn cameras, radios, things of that nature. So grant applications are due Thursday, the 13th, and these are not required by the grant, but the police agencies thought it might be helpful to include in their application.
Thank you, Carrie. And as you said, Bellefonte's electing not to. Patton Township is another department that we could potentially write a letter for. And this is really an open invitation. Anytime a local law enforcement needs a letter of support for this grant, which is quite sizable, millions of dollars here, that as long as they apply for it and it's within the guidelines, they can receive this. It's a great way for us to show our support for fully funding police here in Center County. So I think it's just a great opportunity for us to show that support. So hopefully it helps and aids in their application somewhat, but again, just showing our support for that. So any other comments or questions on the letters of support?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Great program, happy to support them.
Okay. We'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve the letters of support.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion, questions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Carrie, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have our check run. Commissioner Higgins.
Yes, we have a slightly smaller than half normal check run in the amount of $711,617.73. The check of the week is to CenterSafe for $6,630.02 to cover some of the expenses of their bridge program for the month of August. So would like to, and again, thanks to CenterSafe for all they do. We just had them out here recently. But would like to make the motion to approve the check run dated October 7th.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the check run. Any final discussion on the check run? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion has carried. Okay, thank you, Commissioner. John, we'll turn it to you for this report.
Thank you, Commissioner. As you know, the board passed Resolution 7 of 2022, which allows the county administrator to execute any financial documents that do not exceed $15,000, and only in those circumstances where funding for such has been approved through the budget process or a previously approved process in a public session. There were 18 such authorizations performed during the third quarter of 2022, with individual monetary values ranging from $220 to $13,547. Of the 18 authorizations, 12 were software-related services or support renewals. Other approved items include cleaning services for a senior center, generator maintenance at tower sites, service of timestamp and letter opener machines, and costs associated with a wellness program. The grand total of all expenditures authorized by the administrator in quarter 3 of 2022 is $56,149.89.
John, thank you so much. This just keeps county government moving and helps us to just process these quickly. We appreciate you approving these, and this is a kind of closing the loop, just to alert us to the fact that they've been approved. So, any questions on any of these items for John? Okay, John, thank you. Commissioner Dershowitz, we'll turn it to you for our voter registration report.
Okay, we have 106,323 registered voters in Center County as of this morning. That's up 236 registrants since last report. And the highlight reel is 44,697 Democratic voters, 144 Green Party, 670 Libertarian, 14,543 no affiliation, and 42,486 Republican voters. And that leaves 3,783 all others. And of all the other parties, I would like to recognize the Pirate Party today. The Pirate Party has one registered voter, and as they move forward into the election season. I also want to highlight precinct number 79, which is Spring South, and they vote at the Nittany Valley Event Center in Pleasant Gap. And in the last election, there were a total registration of 860 voters. There were 357 ballots cast, which leads to a percentage of voter turnout of 41.51%. So I want to recognize not only the hard work of the folks that make the elections happen out there, but also thank Nittany Valley Event Center for the opportunity to use their facility. So that's my report.
Okay, Commissioner, thank you so much. Any announcements that we need to provide today, John, or, yeah, none? Okay. All right, any executive sessions as well?
No executive sessions to report or hold.
Okay, sounds good. We have the balance of our schedule there. Before we look to adjourn, Gary, any questions?
CDIM funding, did I hear right, 3 million? But that's not county money?
It's not, no. This is state RACP money that's been secured by Senator Corm and Representative Benninghoff for those projects, and supported by, I'm sure, Representative Burowitz, Irvin, and Conklin as well.
It's 100% match. So in other words, they have to raise $3 million, and the state provides $3 million. So together you get the $6 million figure.
Just a pass-through agency?
They have to find a municipal entity, and so it was either Patton or us, and we had the ability to do it, having some RACP programs winding down. So yeah, it fit for us to do it.
It's a lot of record keeping as well. There's an incredible amount of paperwork and documentation that has to be provided to the state on an ongoing basis through the process of the grant program. So we have experience here in Center County, and I think I speak for everybody and say we're all happy to help out.
That's all I have, thank you.
Okay. Gary, thank you very much. We will look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 10:49.
Second.
All in favor?